Okay, I tilted it the right way, picked up my tooling ball height, and calculated, or it was 1 inch 659 to the top now. Subtracted 250, it's 1 inch 409 to the center line of that ball. And I set my height stand now to come up underneath my end mill at 1 inch 409 from my Cadillac gauge. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the indicator out. And we're going to put in an end mill. We're going to do our first counterbore. I better make sure that I got the right diameter on the right side here now. 3/8. So it's 3/8 diameter we want to go in there with. And get a 3/8 collet. Got a 2-flute end mill here, full size 3/8. And I'm going to bring the spindle down, probably about that far. And now I'm going to crank it up until I get my height that I want on my indicator. So, got a ways to go. Get the tooling ball out of the way, and I'm going to move the camera over to this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide, hopefully I got enough room here, slide the indicator under there, and I'm going to pick up one of the flutes. Oh, I got to turn my quill stop up first too, otherwise setting this height is not going to do me any good. So we'll crank that up tight and loosen it and bring it down tight on it. Now we'll come up and we'll set our 0 off of the tip of that end mill. Right there, and there's 0. So now the end of that end mill is right on the center line of that, of where this tooling ball, the center line of this tooling ball right now. And according to my my drawing, the whole holding fixture, it is, I need to go up 1 inch 142 thousandths. So I'm going to move the spindle up and then I'm going to crank it up 1 inch 142 thousandths. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You guys see that? 142. Back down 1. 11 and 42. So that should be the height right there. So now I can come down and machine that carefully. The center cutting 2-flute end mill. But I don't want to put a lot of pressure on it. Anyway. So we're just kind of taking it cool. Just about there. Okay, that's our first one. I think the next one is 7/16 diameter, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it's not. It's oh yeah, it is 7/16. So I need to put a 7/16 diameter in. Take this out. See, now I could have went and done all three of them. I want to do one all the way through though. Make sure that I'm doing it right. And I have a 7/16 end mill laying here. And we'll put that in. Tighten it up. And then we're going to crank the knee back down, and I want to come back down to the stop here and then get the height set. Okay, get the height stand over here, get it under the corner of the end mill, drop it down a little more. I don't think these depths are all that critical, but it's nice to get it right. Because this bigger diameter, that's just a clearance diameter for where the exhaust tube. Well, actually, this is the intake tube side. Okay. Keep finding the high spot there. There we go. All right. And this one has to go to a depth of 932 thousandths. So I'll zero my knee again. 932. Move the spindle up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 32. Right there. And we got to take that one down in there to the stop. Carefully. That's the depth right there. And I noticed that, you know, there's a little bit of the actual through hole here, but when I cut the fins, I believe that is going to be, well, it'll be a little nick right there yet, but I don't know if I don't know if I could have got around it. I suppose I could have if I would have tipped that hole in and moved it down, and it would have been further down. I'm not sure. Anyway, it'll work out. Well, let's take it off of there and take a look at it. See if it looks right or not. They fit snug on there, so Come on. Come on off of there. There we go. And give it a little spritz of air to blow the stuff out. Alright. Looks perfect to me. The hole is almost dead on center. Oop, I'm sorry, I thought you were looking down it too. So, and then when that's mounted on the cylinder, at the 21 degrees, this is going to come out horizontal. It'll go horizontal across to the other one. This is for the intake. And the exhaust will be basically the same thing. It's going to come out straight. So I can go ahead and do. I've got an extra one now, but I can go ahead and do the other two the same way. And then when I get that done, and I just flip them the other way, I can go ahead and do the exhaust. And once I get the exhaust done, that's where they part their ways, because the spark plug hole on one is going to be over here, and then the other one will be over here, because they're going to have to go back to back. So one's actually an opposite. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do all three of them that way, and then flip it around and do the exact same thing as what I did here for the other side, except for the diameters will be a little different. So actually, I don't know if the diameters will be different. No, they're not. Diameters will be the same. So, all right. So I'm going to shut down the camera for here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the exact same thing as what I did here with the height stand. Get the height and get the depths, and they should come out good. They'll be one step closer. And then once I get that done, get these ports in, and then I'll set up on the spark plug side, and we'll probably come back and I'll run through the first one, doing that in video of that, because that'll be setting it up and milling in there, milling a recess, and then the spark plug hole going through. And I'm not sure, I think I'm going to change the spark plug diameter and stuff. So I was looking at that this morning, and I'm going to do something different there too. I think I'm going to make the spark plug a little different. So anyway, when I get there, I'll start the camera back up. Catch you later. Okay, I'm setting up for the spark plug hole, and that I had to tilt 30 degrees, because that's where the spark plug hole is going to come in at 30 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead. I haven't dialed in my I put in my tooling ball, and then I'll dial that in. I'll swing that in, and that'll give me the distance, and I'll be able to tell what the distance is over to the spark plug hole. And then plus I'll set my tool again from the center of it. So this number will change here that I have written down. I'll get rid of that. Put a little alcohol on that, and so that's no longer going to be the number, the center line number. So first thing I'll do is go ahead and put the indicator in. Plus the end mills will be different now too. I'm gonna have to drop it down to dial it in here. Okay, so I'll have to drop the knee down to get over there. Alright. So now we're going to dial in that basically off the top of that tooling ball right there. So what I'm going to do is I know that the zero this way in and out on y-axis is still good. Should be. So I can come down with my indicator here. I'm going to get over here. Just to get, this should get me close. I'll zero it there. Just finding a high spot, back and forth on the hex. There's the high spot. I should be able to swing around here and move into it now. Should get me close anyway. And I can see now I gotta drop down a little bit, and then because I want to be able to go all the way around. I don't really have to, but zero, that's above. Alright. I couldn't see back there real well. Zero. I had to get over the other side. I gotta try to get around the tripod here. Alright, we're about one thou off right there. So I gotta get it on the zero. Right there. And we're about a thou off on Y, but that's fine. And we're zero. So that's the spot. So now I'm going to go ahead and zero my dial out again. My x-axis. I'm going to crank into it to take the backlash out. Back to the zero. Cat thinks it's supper time. And it's not. Gotten spoiled. Alright. I set my zero. Looks good. So I got my x-axis set now. So now I should be able to take the indicator out of there. Take the indicator out of there. Now I'm going to get the height stand again. And we'll get the reading to the top of that from here up to the center line of that. So I'm going to have to swing the indicator the other way. I want to fall off of here. Alright. I'm going to find the high spot.
Hey, Boogie! Hi, Boogie! Hi!
That's my sister-in-law just showed up. Anyway, I'm gonna get the readings and then I'll come back. So okay, from here to the top is 1 inch 3/14. Subtract the 250 from the from it, which is half of the 500 ball, is 1 inch 64 to the center line. And for that depth, I had to go and I missed that dimension on my drawing, so I had to go in and make myself a little sketch. And the height down, I want to be 589 thousandths from that. So, but I'll do the same thing as what I did last time. But I'm sitting here at 0 right now, and that hole goes in at I need to go check that dimension. Oh, it's right here. 1 inch 436 thousandths over. So I'll move over 1 inch 436 thousandths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 36. 10, 20, 30. Let's take the backlash out. Right there. That is where the hole goes. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in on them all and mill the step. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set a travel indicator up on the side here somewhere so that I can quickly go back. Well, I can put a mark. A lot of times what I do, if I do stuff like that, I'll take and I'll put a witness mark right down here so that the two marks line up. Because if you're off a whole crank, the mark's not going to line up. You can see the previous marks that's right there. So I'll take a little bit of alcohol here on a rag and wipe it down good, and then put the marks on. So because that's where I want to be, right there. I'll just clean a spot here. All of us was going to put a scale on here. You know, our jig board was like that. We never had a readout. We went by a scale and a dial. We did a lot of jig board work that way. So we're sitting at right where the hole is going to be drilled, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put a mark right here. And when that's lined up, I know that that's my home spot. And I'm also going to put a mark on my dial. That way I don't have, I mean, it's a quick reference, I can just see it right without having to. So let's put one on there. Let's put the one on that I messed up, and we'll go ahead and do that one. This one here is hosed up anyway, so it doesn't matter which side I put the spark plug on. I have to remember that the spark plugs got to go one on one side, one on the other side of opposites. So got to keep that in mind when I do that. Move you up here. I'm going to move you over here. So I got the head on there. Where is it? Oh, where I put my screws in. And it's a 5/8 end mill that I'm going to go over there with and cut that for the spark plug. Tighten this up. Okay. Now we need to put in a 5/8 collet. Half-inch collet laying here getting all full of chips. I gotta go find myself a nice 5/8 end mill. What I got? Looking for one that's it actually doesn't have to be center cutting, I guess. I want one that's nice and sharp. This was an undersized one, but no, I don't like that one. Keep looking. You're bound to find something. Well, let me go and find an end mill for this. I'll be back. Okay, I found myself a freshly reground 5/8 end mill. So it's not up to size. It's 20 thou undersize, but that's okay. This is just clearance. This basically it's just clearance for the spark plug. So we'll tighten that up, and we will bring this down. And I'll drop the knee down a little bit. Not going to drop it much. Go right there. Crank my stop up. And I'm going to get the high stand set. 1 inch. 1 inch and 64. Okay, I got the high stand set at 1 inch 64. Hopefully I can get in there. I might have to take the part off. Oh, actually I can crank it over here. Since I got to crank it out of there anyway. All right, we want to. Hopefully, I didn't bump my indicator. Down all the way. Get this up. 1 inch 64. I'm gonna go turn my indicator the other way here, and then go reset it. I apparently did bump it. It was off. A bunch. Alright. Careful not to bump it this time. But it was off quite a bit, so I apparently bumped it against something. Alright. Now, let's see if we can get up here. Hopefully I went down far enough I can get up and over that. Well, I will be able to yet. Never mind. Not thinking. Alright. So there's the center line of that ball. Yeah, the last few days it's been kind of hard to think about anything. My little brother, they had to life flight him to a hospital 100 miles away from here. At first they thought that he had a stroke, but he had a small aneurysm, and then he had a big one that they had to go in emergency surgery on. So he's been in ICU since. So, and he's my youngest brother. So anyway, it's hard to think about it. I try to come out here and work so I don't have to think about it. But he's doing better. They operated on and did whatever they had to do for the aneurysm that hadn't burst yet, and it looks like he's going to be fine. He has some memory loss, so, but he's still with us anyway. Anyway, I'm at the center line. I got to drop down. That's the dimension here that I went and got. I have to drop down 589 thousandths up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 89. 80, and then go past and back up. 89, right there. Yeah, sometimes it's better to keep busy than to dwell. So, like I say, the last few days I haven't done much out here. All right. So, I don't know, I don't think I want to take it all in one cut. I probably could. Let's just go down. We'll just go down part way here. In here. No, that's not right. Because that's going all the way through the head. So I do have an error here somewhere. I'm going to have to go back and re-get the numbers here again. This number isn't correct unless it's supposed to be 1 inch 8 or 589. I'll bet that's what it was supposed to be. I need to go back and to my CAD file and go check that number. I'll be back.